Hi, Judd Hoos with Hoos Cow Angus. We're going to try something a little different. And so around here right now we're weaning calves here shortly. Got all our preg data in for the year. And it's a time where we really start focusing on our cow herd and the maternal side of things and evaluating it. And we thought we would share with you, what a good cow is for us here at Hoos Cow Angus, and there's lots of different pieces that all have to come together. Today specifically, I want to talk about the milk EPD and what that is. Angus Association says milk EPD is a predictor of a sire's genetic merit for milk and mothering ability, as expressed in his daughters compared to the daughters of other sires. In other words, it's part of the calf's weaning weight attributed to milk and mothering ability. So the first thing I think that's important to understand about the milk EPD is it's not pounds of milk. It's pounds of weaning weight that can be attributed to a calf's mother. Okay? So what drives the milk EPD? It's nursing ratio. And so what is nursing ratio? Well, to give an example of that, we would have 50 calves or 50 cows out there, all with bull calves in the same pasture, running in the same environment, which would qualify them as a contemporary group. So within that contemporary group, let's say that the calves average 600 pounds at weaning time, okay? And a cow that weaned a 600-pound calf would receive a 100 ratio, or earned a 100 ratio for that year. A cow that weaned a 630-pound calf would receive a 105 ratio. A cow that weans a 660-pound calf would receive a 110 ratio. The other side of that would be a cow that weans a 570-pound calf. When the average was 600, she would receive a 95 ratio. And a cow that weaned a 540-pound calf would receive a 90 ratio. Okay? So when we start looking at nursing ratio, anything north of 100 is going to be a bigger calf. Anything south of 100 is going to be a smaller calf. And that's what moves the milk EPD, and nothing else. So cows that wean bigger calves, their milk's going to go up. Cows that wean or cows that wean smaller calves, their milk's going to go down. And as the Angus Association says, it's measuring the sires, right? So when a sire has 100 daughters out there, and those 100 daughters are averaging a 102, means they're weaning calves on average that are 2% bigger than the average wherever they're at, then that bull's milk's going to go up. Or if we find a bull out there that's got 100 daughters in production and his daughters are averaging a 98 for their weaning ratio or nursing ratio, that bull's milk's going to go down. And that's what it is. I think that because it's labeled milk, people start to make a lot of dangerous assumptions. And, we'll start talking about, well, I don't want too much milk because the udders go bad. Well, that's a different deal. This is just nursing ratio. Start talking about fertility. Well, I don't want too much milk because we're going to have open cows. Well, this is just nursing ratio. There's cows out there that can raise a big calf year in and year out, breed back, and have excellent udder structure. And, that to us, that's a good cow. We want cows that can take a restricted amount of resources or whatever the resources we give them, and give us the most pounds in return. And so that's what we're looking at. I guess that's just to summarize it and say it one more time. Milk EPD is nursing ratio EPD, and more milk means the cows are going to wean bigger calves, and less milk means the cows are going to wean off smaller calves, and it's probably just as simple as that. So we'll see how this goes over. We're going to dive into the other sides of maternal. We'll get into the fertility stuff. We'll get into the structure, feet and legs, teat and udder. We'll get into maternal instinct, a cow's ability to be a mother, a cow that wants to be a mother, and then we'll get into the environment that they run in. So, thanks, and we will see you again.